Warriors fans just got huge news on Jonathan Kuminga returning to the Golden State Warriors from Steve Kerr and NBA insiders who have given us a little bit of insight on where Kuminga is in his recovery process. It looks like he's in the final stages right now and could be rejoining the Dubs here in the next few games. We'll talk about all that on today's show, but before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. This is why you subscribe to the channel, because we bring you the most informative and entertaining content surrounding your Golden State Warriors on YouTube. So, for injury updates, for live shows, for news, rumors, all that jazz, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to beat the most subs that we've gained on a video in the month of March, which is 37 right now. So, we need 38 diehard Golden State Warriors fans to go down below and hit that sub button right now. All right, this is the update that we got from Anthony Slater. He said Jonathan Kuminga scrimmaged yesterday. This is talking about Wednesday because they beat the Brooklyn Nets on Thursday. We'll talk about that game more later. He said he's at the last stage of his recovery, and there was some hope that he'll come back on this road trip, but that has not come yet. No green light from Rick Celebrini, the Warriors medical guru. From Steve Kerr, he says he has to feel right. He has to feel healthy. He has to feel explosive. We can't rush this. And this came after Steve Kerr talked to 95.7 The Game and one of their radio shows talking about Kuminga's recovery, and he said this. He said there's no setback. The injury itself was, I think, more serious than anyone realized, and some of these things you just can't predict. That's one of these things I've learned during my time as coach, working with Rick Celebrini and the performance staff. There's no exact recipe for these injuries, and everyone heals differently. Now, the number one takeaway that I have from all that is, like, the number one goal should be having JK at 100%. Like, I understand it's been over 2 months now that he's had an ankle sprain, but I'm not going to rush a guy back who, quite frankly, needs those ankles at 110% to be at his most effective. He's an incredibly athletic player and a guy who, uses that explosiveness and that get up off of his lower body to be able to create the biggest highlight plays that he does on a daily basis. More from Kerr here. He said, and I think, as it's turned out, JK's injury was more of a setback than we realized in the beginning, and he's working hard. He's working every day of a really good workout today. And if it does feel like he's getting close, but we just got to do the right thing, and that's all that we're trying to do. So obviously the Warriors taking, a lot of precaution with this injury, because not only is he a young player and somebody who's going to contribute heavily to Golden State's lineup, but he's another guy that is also up for a contract extension this summer. Somebody who's going to be commanding big money and somebody who the Warriors plan to commit a lot of big money to. And think about back to like the 2019 finals when you had KD go down and Clay go down, and Clay, all of his re-injuries and re-aggravations. Ever since then, like, the Warriors have taken injuries, especially ones to the lower body, very, very meticulously. And they're not going to rush a guy back who, quite frankly, doesn't need to be rushed back at this point. Steve Kerr did talk about, because we'd heard from NBA insiders that Kuminga would be available, and the target date was on Saturday against the Detroit Pistons. But that isn't set in stone yet. Steve Kerr said this. Said, I can't confirm. That would just be speculation on my part at this point. So, like, they're not going to rush Kuminga back. It doesn't necessarily look like he is in line to be back in the lineup definitely on Saturday. Now, things could change, but at this point, I'm going to go with that. He's not exactly ready to be back in the Golden State lineup just yet. Maybe he'll be back on Monday against the Trailblazers. When the Warriors are playing some lesser competition in the Western Conference, maybe tune Jonathan Kuminga up a little bit. But if you want Kuminga to be back 100% and 10% healthy, because we need no stone left unturned, bring Kuminga back when he is needed to come back. If you want him to be 110% healthy, go down below and like the video right now. Smash that thumbs up icon. Because I don't think Golden State necessarily needs Kuminga to come back like at this moment. We need him when he is 100% healthy. Because Golden State has been awesome since he's been injured. I know 18-12 isn't great, but look at the record since the Jimmy Butler trade. 10-1 now with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. This has been a great, great revelation, and obviously something that Golden State needed to do at the trade deadline. They could not have kept rolling with the same unit, especially if, they probably didn't know at the time, but Kuminga was going to miss over another entire month and be out of the lineup. Golden State had to make this big move, and they made it with Jimmy Butler. They got another big win, but they did have an injury get suffered pretty early on in that game. We'll talk about that in just a moment and react to the entire Brooklyn Nets game where Golden State had to mount a very big comeback. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. And they're always trying to hook you guys up with incredible deals, like a free $50 in your account when you sign up using our promo code CLNS and place your first $5 entry. Now you might be asking me, Tyler, how do you place an entry on PrizePicks? It's super simple. All you guys got to do is pick a sport, any sport, multiple sports, combine the sports, doesn't matter. Basketball, baseball, hockey, esports, golf, cricket, tennis, does not matter. Darts, I think, is on PrizePicks. And combine them. 2 to 6 player stat projections. And just pick more or less than those stat projections. And you can win up to 1,000 times your money on PrizePicks. Now, my PrizePicks lineup for the Warriors-Nets game and a couple other basketball action out there tonight did not go the way I hoped. It went 2 for 3. I had Kelly Oubre more than 18 points. He had more. I had Guy Santos more than 4.5 points. He had more. I had Jimmy Butler less. I slept on Jimmy. Less than 6 field goals made, and he obviously made more, had a big night. We'll talk about Jimmy's night in just a second. But fade my picks, tail my picks, just do it at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. All right, before we get into talking about the Nets and Warriors game, one more piece of major Warriors news for you guys right now. Brandin Podziemski unfortunately left the game after the first play against the Brooklyn Nets. Grabbed his back. He just stepped the wrong way and then started grabbing his lower back, pointed to the bench, and just kept walking all the way to the tunnel. Didn't even say goodbye to anybody. He looked like he was in some pain, and he did not return. And, he played less than a minute. There was a TBD on him coming back into the game. This was late in the first half, I believe, from Anthony Slater. So he ended up saying that Podziemski was not returning in the Nets game. Luckily, Golden State was able to get the win without him. But this is a starter going down for Golden State right now. No, obviously, we know nothing about the timetable of this injury as I'm recording this pretty quickly after the Nets game. But hey, Golden State against Brooklyn, they got a big win. And I'm not saying that, beating the Nets is some sort of a crowning achievement and they should get a cookie for it, but they fell down in this game 27-5. 27-5 in the first quarter, reminiscent of the Cavaliers comeback over the Boston Celtics just a few days ago, albeit, two teams in two completely different places than those two right now in the Eastern Conference. But, Golden State clawed their way back. Steph did his thing to claw their way back. He was kind of the only player performing at a high level there in that first quarter. Brooklyn was throwing the kitchen sink at him, and he was still able to make big-time plays for Golden State. And that's obviously where we have to start if we're talking about players playing crazy numbers and putting up crazy numbers in this ball game. Steph, another masterful performance. 40 ball from Steph. Are you kidding me? This guy was absolutely unbelievable. And, he had, I think, 16 or 18 there in that first half. But as the half closed, my goodness, what a shot from Steph to pull Golden State back within 5. He gets a grenade from, I believe, Jimmy, or I think it was Jimmy, out near half court. And he's not even looking at the basket. Turns around, fades away from 40 feet out, drains it. Boom. Bang. The chef was cooking. I mean, what can't this guy do? Didn't have the crazy assist numbers that he's had over the past couple, but at the end of the day, he has been sensational for Golden State. Another game, I believe, where Golden State had 30 assists. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, another game with 30-plus assists for Golden State. 31 on the night. They continue to be an elite basketball team when moving it around, when finding open shooters, when running sets and working off the ball and finding guys wide open underneath the basket for layups. These players, the chemistry is getting really good on Golden State where people are hitting guys on the run to, get layup opportunities and free throw opportunities, which Golden State is getting more and more of now. It's been awesome, and it really is thanks to the man who Golden State had to go out there and acquire and go out there and pay big money to, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy with a big bounce-back night tonight offensively. 25 points. He was efficient from the field. He hit his lone three-point attempt on the night, 1 for 1. Jimmy's now 3 of 21 from long range from Golden State. Obviously an atrocious percentage, but, we didn't bring him here to be a sharpshooter. We didn't bring him here trading for him like he was Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets. No. We traded him here to be another Draymond Green. And another Draymond Green who can put the ball in the basket at a higher clip. Jimmy was playing on the low block. He was catching lob passes. He was getting positioning and sealing himself off down low so he could have easy looks at the rim. And one. Go to the line. I think Jimmy was 10 of 10 from the free throw line tonight. He was absolutely sensational. Golden State just looks like a different team with him out there. Even if he's not lighting up the scoring department, even though he did tonight, 25 points, he's making the right plays for his teammates. He's not turning the ball over. He's giving everybody else an elevated basketball IQ just by him being out there on the floor with them. Another 6 assists tonight. He's moving the basketball at a really high rate. And I can't say enough good things about what Jimmy has brought to this team outside of the jump shooting, man. And that's not why Golden State made the trade for him. Draymond was moving the ball around as well. 10 assists for Mr. Green tonight. And he was being physical. Like, Brooklyn came out of this game and punched Golden State in the mouth. And Golden State wasn't really ready for that punch. Like, they kept getting knocked back down until the lead got ballooned up to 22. Golden State was down 20 after the first quarter, and they kind of woke up there in the second period. Ended up almost blowing a 10-point lead with 1 minute to go in quarter number 4. But Draymond was the constant. Like, Draymond was always keeping things settled, finding the right players. A couple turnovers that I didn't like. I mean, what did Draymond have? Draymond had 3 turnovers, 5 fouls. Like, he was playing physical. He was playing his brand of basketball. 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists. What more could you ask for at a Draymond Green? Other guys who really contributed, GP2. Oh, my God, he was awesome. I mean, he's honestly one of the craftier finishers, more underrated finishers around the rim, like as far as just having touch and being able to, like, get the ball, not even looking at the rim, quick turnaround, flip it up and in. GP2 is one of the best in the game at that. Also corralled in 9 rebounds tonight. He was crashing the glass. Like, he's just a glue guy who obviously knows the system, knows what Steve Kerr wants out of him, and he's going to make that happen every time. And you know what? Sometimes he's going to put in 16 points. I like GP2 a lot. Before we move any further on the program tonight, I want to ask you guys just one question right now. What seed will Golden State be in the postseason? Right now, they are in the 6th seed, but they are only about, 2.5 games out from the 5? So still 3 games out from the 5. Still 3 games out from the 5. Obviously, the Rockets are still winning a bunch of games, but 3 games out from the 5 seed and 3.5 games out from the 4 seed. Everything is back in play for Golden State right now. My answer, I think Golden State is going to be the 5 seed. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Guy Santos, solid effort tonight. He was actually playing a lot of the minutes late for Golden State. I liked what he gave them defensively. He's always going to give you a ton of effort. He was rolling for dunks and layups, and again, just being available for Golden State. I liked what I saw out of him. Looney played a lot of minutes tonight against a bigger Nets team, especially down low, battling with guys like Claxton and Day'Ron Sharpe. He was great. He was great. QP, another sensational night for him. Like, he played a lot of minutes as well. 10 points, 7 rebounds. How many minutes did QP play tonight? He had, let's see. QP had 21 minutes played tonight. Like, give me 20-minute nights where you're putting up 10 and 7, 2 for 4 from 3, and I might buy myself a Quentin Post jersey. And now we get to the bad. Pat Spencer played a little bit as well, but who continues to play horrifically for Golden State? He's not good, man. He's just not good. Buddy ended up playing 23 minutes tonight. 0 for 8 from the field. 0 for 5 from 3. He's not hitting those shots. You can't have him in the basketball game. Had 2 turnovers, and they're like careless turnovers or bad decisions. He constantly gives players the ball late in the shot clock to hand them the grenade and have the possession blow up in their hands. But Buddy's just not conducive to winning for Golden State, in my opinion, and I would be okay if he wasn't in the lineup anymore. I know Steph, the locker room, they love him. I don't really love him on the court all that much. That's just a personal thing, but at the end of the day, like, I don't enjoy watching him on the basketball court. He doesn't make the plays that I think are conducive to winning night in and night out. But Golden State got a big win here. Finished the road trip up 4-1. Again, in the 6th seed right now. 3.5 games out of the 4 seed. This is going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy run to the finish line here in the Western Conference. So make sure you are subscribed. Lock us in as your #1 spot for Golden State Warriors news and rumors all season long, all off season long, all postseason long, all year long, because we're the best channel for Warriors content on YouTube. So lock us in. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Dubs.